Hello, Merry Meet. So, I want to discuss a topic that I sometimes see mentioned on various occult forums and the like. And the topic I want to discuss is whatever or not basically doing the lesser banishing ritual will give you the same effects as the dare exercise, the Taoistic dare exercise, or if there's some benefit to doing both. Now, I would say it depends on what parts of these two rituals are you looking for the benefit of. Basically, the dare exercise is, while it will raise your spiritual vibrations the same as the lesser banishing ritual, the main focus of it is longevity and health. Basically, for those of you that don't know what these two rituals are, the lesser banishing ritual of a pentagram is a classical ritual within ceremonial magic. It is both a protection ritual, a banishment of anything that might want you harm, and also it is a way to connect yourself with spiritual forces. The dare exercise is a very popular exercise that comes from Taoism. It is basically based on rising sexual energy to better your health and also to rise your spiritual vibrations. So I would say that if the main goal you have is to rise your spiritual vibrations, then doing either of these will suffice. They both do that. They both have that part of it. And that part of it actually are relatively similar. For a while I did both the dare exercise and the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram daily. And I would say that that part of it felt very similar. The part where you connect to something higher than yourself. However, while it can be said that raising your spiritual vibrations do carry with it a certain degree of protection, basically makes you stronger spiritually and as such more able to fight off any negative influences. It also has to be said that the dare exercise do not have the it's not a protection ritual that also raises your spiritual vibrations. It is a ritual for spiritual development and good health. While the lesser banishing ritual's main focus is protection. So, and at the same time, you can say that being protected, both spiritually and physically, as the lesser banishing ritual of a pentagram do offer health benefits, the same as raising your spiritual vibrations offer health benefits. You know, in all of that, all of the various fictions that has magicians and witches living longer than regular human beings, well, that part of fiction, like most parts of fiction, comes from somewhere. From the fact that very often spiritual people that work with these energies that rise their spiritual vibrations have good health. But at the same time, it's not a ritual that is in itself focused on bettering your health. So I guess you can say it's a little bit like taking like if you are you're buying a movie and you are wondering whether or not you want the Lake House or Back to the Future. Now, and you ask, yeah, but aren't they basically the same movie? Both of them have time travel and some romance. And surfacely, you could say, yeah, they both do. And if you just want a little bit of a mix of time travel and romance, then either or would be fine. But they do have different focus. The Lake House is paranormal romance. That's the genre it's in. Romance is the focus. That it has time travel is just sort of the way to make that romance happen. It's the romance that's in focus, while the time travel is sort of is the setting of it. While Back to the Future, it's the time traveling that's the important part, and you just have some romantic relationships here and there because it's brightening up the story. So it really depends on what you're after, and the same way with the Dare exercise or the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. That if you are after basically bettering your sex life, bettering your health, longevity, and those are your main focus, and the spiritual development is sort of a side note, then their exercise will give you more of that. Well, if you're after protection and banishment of negativity, then the Lesser Banishing Ritual has more of that. What they both have, like I said, is the concept of raising your spiritual vibrations. Now, a lot of people say that there's no point in doing both because they both have that part of raising your spiritual vibrations. Now, I do not agree with that because, if you do, the more you do something, basically, the better at it you get. So if you do several rituals that are based on raising your spiritual vibrations, you will be, that is more beneficial for your spiritual development than if you do one. The other thing is that while they both have this component of raising your spiritual vibrations, the components of self-development, spiritual development, are relatively similar to one another. There are other parts of the rituals, like, for example, protection, and so on and so forth, that are different. So I would definitely say that both are very good rituals. And that if you have the time, working with both can be very beneficial. However, I do not think that you necessarily need to work with both. I, for example, do the Lesser Banishing Ritual. I don't do the Dare exercise at the moment because I have a lot of other magical work I do and I just don't have the time. I do it every now and again, but I don't do it on a regular, as I recommend, 2 times a day because I just don't have the time for that right now. And I find that if I had to choose between them, I would choose the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram because I have other rituals I do, excuse me, that are based around improving my health and longevity. But it's definitely is, the exercise definitely is a very interesting ritual. If you do other types of rituals to protect you and so on, you might want to choose their exercise instead or do both. So my point in this is, no, they're not the same. They don't do the same. It's not like you can say that, oh, they're just different versions of the same thing. They are not. They just are not. So, yeah, but do they both have that part of spiritual development that are very similar? That idea of connecting to something bigger than yourself and joining your energies with that. Yes, definitely both have that. So, yeah, both are some of my favorite rituals to do. And I definitely think there's, lots of similarities in how they interact with you spiritually. But the more practical parts of them are very different. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. And like I said, it's just my opinion as somebody who has worked with both rituals. I'm no expert in either of them, so I'm not saying that what I'm saying here is the only truth, the truth TM, but it's my point of view at this point in time. Take it for what it is. I hope you have a great day, and blessed be.